channel, everybody. Moody Miles, Trikes and Bikes. The journey continues. We are on the Cedar Valley Nature Trail near Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Our last installment was the Little Miami Trail near Xenia in Spring Valley, Ohio. So this is the journey of a lifetime. Started out in Hiawatha, headed north. We are in an area that's marked a wildlife refuge. So very tranquil and serene out here. This trail spans 52 miles. Man, I wish we had something like this at home. So to catch up on the journey from Ohio, it was a pretty action-packed day because the weather forecast was very foreboding. And as I said on that ride, if I was at home, that I might have canceled out that day. But this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. And we did have a window till 2 o'clock in the afternoon before the heavy rains were supposed to move in. A lot of people out today on bikes, really cool. But the whole ride was kind of rushed. Trying to beat the weather. Try to tell myself to calm down and not get hyper on these things, but I haven't succeeded yet. Because trying to beat the rain, I started off with my rear seat quick release, not fastened. I got my camera out on the selfie stick, all hooked up with the microphone ready to go, laid it in the seat, and then proceeded to sit on it. Put a bend in the selfie stick. But we worked through all that and ended up having a great day. The entire ride was done in a light mist. And my tires were pretty much shiny the whole way because there was moisture on the trail from rain the night before. I thought that was a little bit of a bummer until I did an out and back a little past Spring Valley. If you're familiar with those trails or you get a map, you can see where I went. I started from Beaver Creek Station and got out 17 miles, which is a little more than I originally planned on doing. So I got a 34-mile ride, none of which I can show you because my computer blanked out in the pouring rain the last 8 miles. And I forgot to shut my, I forgot to turn my riding app on the way out. I at least could have had the half distance stats. I did times 2. And I forgot to shut it off because we were loading the trike up in a driving rainstorm. So I know I had 17 miles on the way out. I probably had a little over 34 miles because there's one section on the Creekside Trail where I started that it's a little sketchy finding where to hook up to the trail that takes you into Xenia. So I probably got an extra mile or so where I missed a turn. But once I got to Xenia Station and went south, it was just a cruise. And I got everything that I wanted as far as mileage and seeing some trail that I hadn't seen before. because I had done a little bit of the creek side and also did, I think, the Little Miami from Greene County Fairgrounds, where Cycle County Con was last year. Went up to Yellow Spring, so I wanted to hit another part of the trail I hadn't seen before, and was able to do that. We're on just a slight upgrade here, so I'm puffing even more than usual. All right, we have hit the 1 hour mark. I'm going to do a 2 hour ride today, so this is the turnaround point. Kind of scenic here. Just a beautiful ride, and we will continue.